Because I sat there for like forever. So we're live now. And I'll be right back. And hopefully someone will be here to take my camera. So I'll be right back.
Start off with
get places on top of yours.
need a holder or something.
Yeah. A little chillier than expected. Great turnout though. Beth handed me her live stream. Like, I'll be right back. Can you get, which is great. We're live right now. It's awesome. Great turnout. I know, yeah. Oh, so I'm just holding this down for Beth. Hi, everybody. Holding this down for Beth on the live stream here in Roxbury.
I'm short, so I need to
It's all about leverage.
right card, right personality.
Sit back and watch that.
What's up?
We need some other colors.
Make some noise for yourself, everybody. We're here for and the gig workers all across the state of Massachusetts. Make some noise. The people united
We'll never be defeated.
The people united
We'll never be defeated.
Thank y'all for bringing the energy. Make some more noise. Scream down. here for a very important reason. I'm sorry. It's all good, but until then, it's all good. I can't talk louder than that. Give me a second. So we are here today as a proud coalition of labor, community, civil rights, environmental organizations, and drivers who are here to say we are not for sale. Mask is not for sale.
Mask is not for sale.
Mask is not for sale.
Mask is not for sale.
Why are we here? Yeah.
Okay, you got.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
All right.
I'll take two, Mike.
Save your voice.
So, big tech companies like Uber and Lyft are trying to buy a law with $100 million to better exploit their drivers, our community, black, brown, and indifferent. They'd rather spend $100 million in lies than give their drivers better pay, real benefits, and protection from jobs, racism, sexism, and accidents. A lot of times, as Uber drivers and Lyft drivers and gig workers, you have no protection. If somebody makes a false claim against you, if somebody says that you're doing something that you're not doing, you have no protection. You have no representation as a driver. All right, hold on. We're gonna translate that. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hello， 大家好，我们今天呢在这里，包括有工会、社区、民权的机构，还有保护环境的。好，那么就是我们是跟 Uber 跟 Lyft 讲，我们的选民，我的权利，他不能买得到的。他们用了100个 million， 过千过亿的钱来通过这些法律。但是很简单，他们可以用这些钱来给工人他们的权益。那么就是为什么我们今天在这里。
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen. Let's not be fooled by their tactics and understand this is about the rights of workers, and many of us have fought for. This is about work with dignity, respect, and that we demand to be seen, heard, and we demand our rights as workers in this community.
那么，如果 Uber 跟 Lyft 是真正的关心工人的，可以把这些钱，如果他们说我们工作要担心，工作要保护，他们可以放这些钱拿来保护工人的。那么我们今天来呢，就是为所有的工人是争取他们的尊严，还有被尊重。
Uber and Lyft, be fair or you can't be here. Uber and Lyft, be fair or you can't be here. Uber and Lyft, be fair or you can't be here. Uber and Lyft, be fair or you can't be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to send a special shout out to the Silver Slipper for allowing us to be here and have this location. Every chance you get, make sure you support Silver Slipper, which is a community-owned business, and they've been here for years, and we want to see them be here for many more decades. Anytime you come to Dudley, support the Silver Slipper. Thank you so much. So everybody say, thank you, Silver Slipper.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. So now we will hear from Beth, the director of the Boston Independent Drivers Guild and a fierce leader representing drivers across our community.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I know it's cold outside, but the sun is shining, and you could have been anywhere, but we appreciate everyone that came out here. And like he said, thank you so much, Angel, for that warm introduction. My name is Beth Griffith. I am the executive director of the Boston Independent Drivers Guild. And I am so happy to see our drivers and our community allies and our unions out here, and we demand that Uber and Lyft treat their workers right and pay us fairly. No more unfair deactivation. No more racism. No more sexism. No more Islamophobia. And I don't know why You know, we all know that our drivers out here are struggling with these high gas prices, and they want to give what, up to an extra 55 cents? But however, they always manage to have a caveat or a get out of jail free card. So they announced starting in April, if you have a green vehicle, you will no longer be eligible for those gas surcharges. Woo!
这位是 Beth， 他原来也是一位司机，然后他也是波士顿司机协会的主任。那么今天呢，他就是说那么很高兴跟所有市区的人来支持这些司机，因为你开车的时候，其实也面对很多种族歧视的问题，还有不受到尊重，还有时候呢，你的户口会随时那个 Uber 跟 Lyft 就会停牌，大家也不知道怎么样做。那么我们今天呢，就是说希望呢，就是 Uber 跟 Lyft 就是继续就是尊重这些工人，因为没有工人工作的话呢，他们是赚不了钱的。还有最近那个油价降得很高，那么他也没有负什么责任，他就将这个钱就是要客户付这些钱。
Woo! Thank you so much, Karen. And like we know, we are here. We are against these two ballot questions. Who can live off of $4.82 an hour?
No one.
Exactly. So let's say 482, it's not for me and you. 482 is not for me and you. 482 is not for me and you. 482 is not for me and you. I became a driver because I actually wanted to supplement my income. And, you know, over the years, we've suffered 5 pay cuts with no due process. And it's more like we've become dependent contractors, dependent workers, and we're not having that anymore.
That's right.
That's right.
Right.
那么在11月份的时候，现在 Uber 跟 Lyft 想通过一个选票问题，如果通过的话呢，那么工人呢那个每个小时会只赚4块8毛2，这个是不能养家的工资的。那么也是为什么我们今天在这里。还有Beth 他就是工作了好几年为司机，已经经过5次的减他的工资，那是合不合理啊？
And this is a fight. We're bringing it here to whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
To our workplace, to our communities, and to our neighborhood. And we're prepared to take it to the ballot because we will not be fooled. We are here to uplift the voice of workers, to hear from our supporters, and because today workers are preparing to testify before the state legislature against Uber and Lyft ballot effort to keep workers down.
那么就是说，我们知道，我们市区的人，我们的选民不会让这些公司让他们我哋骗我们 ，OK？
How's everybody doing? Everybody good? We have some drivers that will be coming up now. We might have to start. Wrong ping ding? Did I say it correctly, my brother? Yeah.
你好，我来自中国的移民，由于我英文不好，Uber 的工作，我在 Uber 做了6、7年， 我在工作的时候我很努力，我每一个星期我都做70-80个小时，或超过80个小时啊。
Hi everyone, my name is Guan Pingding. I'm an immigrant from China. Because my English is not so good, I don't have a lot of opportunities for jobs, so I became an Uber and Lyft driver. I worked for about 6 years. I worked very hard. Every week, I work up to 70, 80 hours, sometimes even up to 90 hours per week.
然后呢，我这个工作时间太长，太累了，后来我就病了。病了以后呢，我就休息以后呢，一段时间，又出来工作呢，有一次就在机场这里，由于这个身体不适，我就晕倒了，就是不知人事了，就撞到那个电线杆，那个车就报废了，我就不能工作了。不能工作以后呢，Uber也不管我死活什么帮助都没有这个保险也不赔我。
Because I work so hard and it's so tiring driving, I got sick. I was really sick. I was out of work for a few weeks. But because I need to make a living, make ends meet, I went back to work. I was driving at the airport. I fainted while I was driving, and my car hit a pole. My car was totaled. I couldn't work anymore. I was in the hospital. And Uber did nothing for me. They can't even help me with insurance claim for my car.
然后呢，我要他上线，我要继续工作，他就不给我做了。他说我不安全后来什么都不管我，不理我什么都没有帮助我，搞到我现在的生活也是很艰难的。
And then Uber deactivated my account. I didn't even know why they deactivated. I was working hard. That's all I was doing. And I was trying to find out how can I start working again. I couldn't figure out why. And I can't imagine, what it's like, to not work. And for me, I still have not been able to find work.
希望如果以后把这些错误要改正像我们工人有个活路。
So I'm sure that this doesn't just happen to me. It's probably a common experience of drivers. So I hope Uber can treat their workers better. I know they can afford it. I know they can do better. Thank you.
Thank you to Guan Pingding and Karen. Make some noise. I'm gonna hear that from me a lot. Make some noise. We're making some noise all morning. So right now, we want to make a shout out and call out JC, CJ. If you're around, come up to the front. CJ, if you're around, come to the front. And we're actually gonna start with Raheem. Brother Raheem, you ready?
Yeah, all right.
Everyone,
Let's go.
Thanks for joining us today. My name's Raheem and I'm a driver. I'm here ready to fight and stand up against big tech. I don't know how it is for everybody else, but in the beginning, when I first started, this was all supposed to be temporary. Just between school, just between jobs, just until the next big thing comes. We all know how that ends up though, right? I soon learned that in order to secure a good living for myself, I always had to speak up and make sure I got paid the money I deserve. Since day one, big tech has been lying, cheating, and stealing from us, the drivers, the workers, who generate 100% of their revenue. Now that they're nice and comfy with their profits, they want to make sure that we don't get the recognition and rights and wages that we deserve. How's that sound? Well, I'm here to say enough is enough, and we're not going to take it anymore. We built this coalition to protect all workers in Massachusetts, not just gig workers, not just tech work, not just contractors, but everybody. If we don't fight back, they're going to fire teachers, they're going to fire nurses, they're going to fire bus drivers, they're going to fire union workers and replace them with contractors for $4.82 an hour. We're here to stand up for everybody's right and say enough is enough. They're spending $100 million on this campaign. They want to take away our rights with that $100 million. They want to take away our pay. Why don't they just give it to us? We need a stimulus for drivers. $100 million sounds pretty good, right? Anyway, I hope everybody has a lot to say today. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, yeah.
Make some noise for Raheem one more time. And we're gonna have Karen Jersey.
这位他也是司机，那么他就是说本来呢做这个工作是临时的，那么就是变成了长期的工作。那么还有就是说他们的还有就是说那么今天呢，为什么我们在这里呢？就是我们觉得这个公司为工人提供多一些的福利的。那么还有就是说他们用那么多钱100个 million 去争取通过这些法律，那么这个钱是可以给工人的。还有就是说，如果真的通过的话呢，那么大概平均的工资呢会4块8毛2的。那么我们就觉得这些公司呢，他们可以做得好一点。
All right. And now we got Brother Paul and Beeman. Yes, sir. Come on.
I know my African brothers. Stop playing.
Hey guys, let's make some noise for those of us who are suffering from the injustice. Can we make some noise? Thank you. My name is Paul Mbime. I was surprised my brother was able to call Mbime correctly. I come 6,000 miles away from West Africa, Cameroon. And I came here 6 years ago. For 2 years, I was a high school teacher and a soccer coach and doing a PhD. But I thought I found something better with big tech. And when I signed up for Uber Eats, Uber X, Lyft, and DoorDash, I thought I would be my own boss. But I didn't know I was stepping into hot coal. And so I have a few things to say. I don't know if this information is necessary for our brothers.
这位他也是司机他就是也是移民来这里的6000多英里那么他就是从非洲西非洲来的。那么本来呢就是说他以为做这个工作是好的，因为他可以当自己的老板。
Thank you. I will start with a few quotes. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes a duty. We have been suffering the injustice quietly. I don't know if, as an independent contractor with big tech companies, I have been able to be identified. I think I just exist on the app and they just use me in their own interest, which I don't appreciate. I'm going to come in with a few ideas that have pushed me to this conclusion. And again, I say, when justice is delayed, it is justice denied. We've been waiting to see if these guys can stand up one day and call us to the table, to the negotiating table. If you have sat with them at the negotiating table here, and you're standing here, let us see your hand up.
Have you sat on any negotiating table with them? Have you? The answer is no. And do you know anyone you could actually go to personally and make your grievances known? I don't think so. So we just exist virtually, just like the virtual app that we are serving on.
那么做这份工作呢，就是很多司机都面对很多的事情的，包括对公司还有这个客户。那么就是说，可以说我们今天来的就是希望可以争取正义。为什么要争取呢？因为如果有什么事情发生的话，你们有没有人可以联络到 Uber 跟 Lyft 或者多家公司都不行，对不对？如果你有什么事情，可不可以跟这个公司谈判？也没有这个权益。那么对我们来说呢，这个是非常重要的。如果我们想得到正义。
Thank you. And I think this is the first of its kind I've witnessed for the 4 years I've been working with them. And just before I get to the 4 short points that I need us to look into, I would also remind you that I didn't know when I get to the US I would be a unionist or be another activist. Yeah, because if you go home, just Google the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon. You will read my story. Back in my country, I was the ringleader. I was the leader of the teachers' trade union, and I didn't take nonsense. So let's take the first point I need for us to look into, because when we just come here and we just talk about injustices and we cannot pick them out, then we don't know what we're doing. The first thing is the 120% pay when you are on real time with the big tech companies. And that 120% minimum wage that they pay us on real time is just 2/3 of the time you spend with them. Yes, I think that when I'm working for my boss, I work for other companies here. When I go in and I clock in, I'm on the time of the company. If I spend 8 hours with the company, I get paid my 8 hours contracted for. Yeah. What explanation do the big tech companies have to give us when we go on the app? We are working for them, and they want us to drive on our own to the hot zones. Drive on our own to pick someone, and they start paying you all the way you are riding with that person. You pay toll. You go through tolls, you pay out of pocket. You are not on the clock for them. They need to turn all these things around. Thank you.
那么就是说，他在他自己的国家的时候，他是一个组织是华业反击，但是呢，他也没有猜到他来这里也要做这个组织的工作。那么他就希望大家呢可以有4点工人应该要争取的。第一个就是说，如果你上线的时候，就算等候也是要有这个工资，是全面你上班的时候应该得到工资。现在暂时来说，你们等候的时间是没有工资的，只有你在客户的时候才可以会有这个工资。那么大概呢2/3的时间才得到。那么我们就要求应该100%你在工作的时候应该得到。那么还有另外呢，就是说你们可以选择去这种那么这个地方呢也这个因为有时候是受这个公司控制的，那么如果你们是老板，应该自己可以控制的。还有另外就是说，如果你们是那个路费 toll， 他们也应该负责，不需要你们要通过那么多的程序才可以得到那个 toll 的钱。
to think that this is another ploy to relegate us to the background. We are not part of the back burner. We need that health insurance. And I won't be too long. I'll take the last point so that I can leave the floor to others. I'm very, very verbose. So you have to bear with me. The next thing I need us to look into is you get kicked out of the app just because a rider complained. You don't know the beginning, and you don't know the head and the tail of the complaint they gave to the big tech companies. And before you know it, you are off. They just give you an email. Before you respond to the email, they kick you out of the app. And that job, you quit another job to work with them. And now you are jobless because you can't go on the app again. And you don't have a say. We are saying that if we are independent contractors, we should sit on the negotiating table with them, know the terms of the contract, so that we can know what to do in case of any situation like these ones that we get kicked out for no just cause. I worked for Lyft the first day with Lyft. They wanted to pay me $250 if I gave 10 consecutive rides. On the 10th ride, the lady, I'm sure, did not have enough money. I needed a free ride, but she didn't tell me that. So I drove the lady for 25 minutes to her destination. Just half a mile away from her destination, she said, wait, stop. Where are you taking me to? Well, I started thinking, what's happening here? I was following the directions on the app. I gave her the address. She said, no, I'm not secured in here anymore. I said, I thought you would be telling me that I'm not taking you to your address, but you are telling me you are not insecure. You've been driving with me for 25 minutes. You were not feeling insecure. I said, you can go out, but I'll drive to that point. I will drop you off, even if you are not in my car, for the Lyft to know I took you there. Before I knew it, I was kicked out. They just gave me a phone call, and they told me someone said you were driving under influence. I said, what nonsense? I said, I'm an investigator too. There are police officers all over Boston. I'm still on the app, and you know my location. Why did you call the police to double check? You just kicked me out. This is one of the instances that we need to pay attention to. And we must stand for our rights and get these things straight. I'm sorry I was too long. Thank you.
那么还有呢，就是说，我们做这个工作呢，这也是对我们的身体有很大的影响，我们健康。那么差不多没有一个人可以从这个公司拿到医疗保险的。好，那么我们应该跟这个公司有一个合约，合约里面也是包括应该有医疗保险的。好，那么还有呢，就是说，我们上线的时候，有时候就是客户给你一个不好的评理，那么你就停了，你没有机会跟这个公司说您的情况是什么。那么他讲的有2个例子，就是第一个就是说他带了一个客户，他不喜欢他的路线，那么就投诉，那么他就停了户口。那么然后另外呢，就是有一个客户就是觉得不知道为什么也叫了警察来，那个也会影响的。那么如果我们是工人的话，他应该听客户，也应该听司机方面的2个故事，才可以决定停牌。那么不应该无理的停这个工人的牌照。
Now I have one last plea. This time it's a plea. We always say, united we stand, but divided we fall. My observation is that we have a good number of unions or groups of drivers, independent drivers working with the big tech companies. I want to say here without mincing words that the fault is ours. Yep. The fault is first of all ours. The guys are in their camp. We are in our camp. But in our camp, we are divided. My plea is that from here, we should form one unit a common block will face them big time. My grandmother, God bless her soul, used to teach us the power of unity using logic. She will give you a single stick, broomstick, and ask you to break it. You just kind of think it's a game with grandma. You break the stick, and she takes a bundle of the broomsticks and gives you and asks you to break it again. And you sweat on it and you cannot break. Listen, brothers and sisters, dear colleagues, if we are leaving this place today without the resolution, the firm resolution to make sure that there is a common platform where I will know you, where you will know me, where I will know you and you and you and you, and we are able to come together with a leadership that can take our grievances, table them in the most orthodox, in the most magnanimous way to these guys, so they should know they have a force to reckon with. With me alone, with you alone, with just all of us here alone, they will just kick us like garbage. But when we form a common front, believe me, they're gonna get it hot.
那么还有呢，就是说，如果我们想工人有多一些力量，一定要团结，还有团结成为一个工会，那么联系所有的工人。那么他讲的跟我们中文讲的也是差不多，就是一个筷子很容易断，但是有一对的筷子呢断不了的。好，那么还有我们需要这个领导从哪里来呢？不是一个人，是全部的工人都要站起来，这样子我们才可以得到正义。
Make some noise for all the speakers. Make some noise for Paul and B-May. Make some noise for Karen for translating every speaker. And I think that we're all touched on a lot of important things. We are one unit, but let's continue to form. Let's continue to break down those barriers, because that's the only way that all this is possible. It's the only way that all this is possible to happen to us is because we're separated. And I love seeing all these different demographics of people, age, gender, all that. We here because they put all these stipulations in here to separate us in the first place. So now we're gonna get into some of our elected speakers. We're gonna start with Mr. Dwayne Tyndall, who is the executive director of ACE, which is Alternatives for Community Environment. They do a lot of work in our coalition. It's one of the hardest working directors in the organization, in the movement right now, and make a lot of noise for Mr. Dwayne Tyndall.
Good morning. So I just want to make a connection. When you have exploited workers, you have an exploited environment. Exploited workers, $4.82. Exploited environment, meaning the emissions of this gig economy is 70% more. Let's make that connection. Anytime you see that exploitation is interconnected with the exploitation of our environment, meaning it will have an impact on our climate, it will be an impact on our neighborhoods. And that's why we need to stay connected. This is a generational fight. We should use all our means, organizing, legal, regulatory, prayer, consistency for this fight. So it's good to see us out here, but tell our family and friends that next year we will be here. 5 years from now, we'll be here. And we'll continue until we have a level of justice and equity for our workers and our environment. Thank you. Right to Kim.
那么Dwayne 他就是一个保护环境的机构。那么一般来说，如果听到呢，如果是剝削工人，亦都有剝削環境的。那麼還有就是說，這個其實呢這些車呢對我們的環境也有很大的影響的。那 那么如果我们保护我们的环境，也是保护我们的邻居的。那么他们也要遵守一些规律有关保护环境的。那么为什么呢？因为我们希望我们的市区永远都在这里啊，我们就是说希望我们的环境也是受到保护的。
One last thing, we on Malcolm X Boulevard, picture mural of Malcolm X on the wall, just to remember our ancestors and the sacrifice that came before. Thank you.
那么还有我们记得呢，这里就是 Malcolm X 路，然后还有您后面有一个壁画，那个也是我们争取权益这个逝去的历史的一部分，我们不要忘记的。
Thank you. And just to touch on the Malcolm X mural, Malcolm X was always one of the biggest influences for me, just knowing his story and how he changed and how he grew and became the man he was. He didn't have an easy life, and he wasn't a perfect person, but he made his changes and actually continued to change the world. I think at this point, we're going to do a spin around the block. Y'all ready for that? Y'all ready to get some blood flowing? Come on. Yeah. We're going to go around the block, and then we're going to come back and have a couple more speakers, and we're going to close out for the day. Y'all with me? Make some noise. I know it's early, but we here to turn up. Y'all ready? Come on. Yeah.
那么还有呢，他就是想说呢 ，Malcolm 是一个民权的运动的活跃分子，那么对他来说有很大的影响，对这个市区有很大的影响。那么还有这个墙壁，那么还有呢，就是说我们因为大家站得好久了，所以我们要走一走叫一个口号抬回来，还有多一声会讲的。那么他也是让大家看看这个邻居。
All right, cool. With that, so we just going what? Which direction we going in? We going this way?
We can use the bullhorn.
Yeah.
Hello? No justice, no peace. The people united will be defeated. The people united will be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Shut it down. 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 No peace. 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 Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. We'll never be defeated. We'll never be defeated. We'll never be defeated. We'll never be defeated. Can see your greedy side. We 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 can see your greedy side. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't.
Huh? You need to continue. Not for me and you. 482. It's not for me and you. 482. It's not for me and you. Oh my goodness, it's like dangerous over here. You can't hide. Here, don't be here. Hey, I can sing a cadence. I'm like, hey, no peace.
I don't understand. Why don't you want to be?
Nunca ser vencidos. 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 We have to sing a cadence.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose corner?
Our corner.
Whose corner?
Our corner.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose corner?
Our corner.
Whose money? Whose money?
Our money.
Whose money? Our money. Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose money?
Our money.
Yeah, I'm not talking tomorrow, so if I'm on Zoom, I'll be on the chat.
All right, how's everybody doing? We had a lot of speakers today. Is there anybody else who wanted to speak that didn't get a chance to speak? Does anybody want to come tell their story or give their opinion? Anybody want to speak? Start now. The spot, the area, let your voice be heard. Who wants to speak? Come on. That's right. Come on down.
Woo!
Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Stefan. I represent two organizations today. One of them was John Coalition, Representative Organization, and the other one is City Cedar Economy, the housing justice organization that I'm sure most of you have heard about. What's interesting about why we're here is the conjunction between jobs and housing. The connection between jobs and housing. You can't maintain good housing without a good job. You can't put a good job in Boston that you're living out in Framingham. You need to keep Boston available and affordable for everybody. One that starts with good jobs. And this is the great coalition and looking forward to the fight because we will win. We stay in the city life. When we fight,
we
win.
win.
When we fight,
We win.
When we fight,
We win.
Thank you. We appreciate your bravery. You put it out a very great point. In the city of Boston, it's hard to stay in the city without a good job, but it's hard to get a good job in the city if you don't live there. So it's almost like a never-ending downward spiral. Everything is connected. We have to understand your issue is my issue. My issue is your issue. All these issues are connected. Housing, childcare, jobs, food insecurity, education insecurity. All of this stuff is connected and we all face issues. Is there anybody else that wants to speak? There's a lot of people.
Okay.
Here we go.
Darlene, go ahead, Darlene.
Hear it?
Yes.
So my name is Darlene Montos. I'm the Secretary Treasurer of the Greater Boston Labor Council, and I'm also the chair of the Labor United.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Lee Montueta, great to be here with you on this beautiful.
Woo!
So we know we'll be here with you till the end. And we just wanted to lead a chant together. Maybe a couple. So,
okay.
All right. So one of my faves is when I say worker, you say power. Worker.
Power.
Worker.
Power.
When I say justice, you say now. Justice.
Now.
Justice.
Now.
When I say fight, you say win. Fight.
Win.
Fight.
Win. Win.
工会的主席还有立法劳动人民的，那么就是说他一直呢都是工人了啊，那么也是我们跟工人一起争取到底的。
All right. We're gonna do one more chant. Who's got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
We got the power.
Who got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
Worker power.
Who got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
Worker power. Woo!
I know other people got a chance, so we're gonna do some more chants. Come on, Beth.
You got
Oh
one?
my goodness. How do I do this? Okay.
Just press it. Yeah.
Press this. Can someone hold it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just help you out here.
You
want me to do this?
Okay, I'm about to go back to my military and do a cadence.
Oh!
This will be pretty simple, y'all. You just repeat and sing back what I say, okay? All right. Overland if you can't hide. You can't hide. We can see your greedy side.
We can see your
away.
How do I get it back? Right. How do I get
It sure ain't for me and you.
It sure ain't for me and you.
Overlift your greedy side.
Overlift your greedy side.
For 82 ain't enough to survive.
For 82
Yeah. Bring me back to my military days, you know? Sorry about that, but no, it's okay. Suzanne Lee, you were called to the Woo! Hey, Suzanne!
I want to sing also in Chinese so that they understand what we're doing here. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my history, why I'm here today. You know, I grew up the street on Grove Hall, way back when. My white hair show you when. And I know that everybody thinks times is tough now. It was even tougher then. But all these years, Black folks and Latino folks and Asian folks has always come together to fight the good fight. But nobody talks about that. To show them. The mural behind you depicts the history of people's struggles in our community. So we have to be the one to go out there and continue to demonstrate, educate, and so glad to see multi-generation here today because we have to continue the fight. Everything that we have today, as little as it is because other people fought for us. We are standing on the shoulder of our forefathers, and don't ever forget that. So we need to continue to fight the good fight, and don't let anyone, the media, the government, to divide us because they're really good at that. We can see it. So just look at the mirror behind you. All the workers, all the ancestors that came before us. Otherwise, we would not even have any space to stand on. 我同大家講幾句，因為我係喺後邊呢度高坡嗰度長大嘅，係好耐以前。我喺呢度長大嗰時候，你覺得而家嘅生活係困難，嗰個時候仲更加困難。但係亦都睇到歷史上黑人社區同我哋華裔同西班牙裔社區好多時咧都係走埋一齊去爭取正義，所以咧就唔好聽咁多傳媒講話呢個社區唔好，嗰個社區唔好，全部都係要靠我哋一齊走埋一齊去爭取嗰個正義。因為呢啲咁樣嘅做法咧，唯一個目的係要分散我哋嘅權力，所以我哋唔應該中計。後邊嗰個幅相咧，嗰個壁畫咧，係畫出歷史咁多年嚟呢個社區不斷咁樣去爭取佢哋嘅權益。我哋應該繼續團結，團結就係力量。United never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The people
united defeated.
I'm going to teach you how to say that in Chinese. Okay.
Okay. That would be awesome.
團結一致，
團結一致，
爭取力量，
爭取力量，
團結一致，
團結一致，
爭取正義，
爭取正義，
團結一致，
團結一致，
爭取正義。
爭取正義。
Yeah, now you can say it in 3 languages.
Woo!
All right, so right now, we appreciate y'all's time. There's 3 more speakers. We're going to have to actually wait 1 minute. We're going to have to go with John Pass. Let's go.
Pass, JP! JP!
How we doing?
Woo!
How we doing? Thank you so much. My name is Jonathan Pass. I'm wearing 2 hats right now. I'm a Waltham City Councilor. Waltham represent. I know. And also the organizing director. Thanks so much for making time. I just want to share a couple of stories. We're fighting here a historic fight for the labor movement because the labor movement is the people's movement. We're here because greedy corporations have a billion-dollar agenda and they want to make us better slaves. Are we going to let them do that?
No!
Are we going to let them do that?
No!
So we have a task at hand. We need to work in solidarity and build a rainbow coalition that everyone's afraid, that big tech is afraid of. I've had the honor and privilege of organizing with gig workers, hundreds of gig workers who share their story. 9.9 out of 10 of them have an issue. The gasoline prices are going up. They're not getting paid. You know how much these companies are giving them due to the rising gas prices? 45 cents after a ride. So if you drive 10 miles that way, guess how much you have per mile? 5 cents for the gallon. Who here can afford that? We have drivers who have been assaulted, sexually harassed, verbally abused, racially profiled. We've had people here who are literally surviving just to make ends meet. This whole flexibility thing, they want to make this into a flexibility thing, by the way. This whole flexibility thing is a lie. They're trying to control the narrative, and we're not going to let them do that. You know why? Because people want to get paid.
People want benefits. People want respect. We've talked to a very multicultural working class of people who are gig workers, dignified people, and we need to make sure that they know we have their back. The reality is, it's hard to stand up against the boss. The boss will always surveil you, they'll track you, they'll try to intimidate you, and a lot of drivers, unfortunately, intimidated, they're a little bit afraid to speak up, but boy, are they angry. Boy, are they angry. I'm so excited for this public hearing because I don't know how the other side's convincing drivers that they're going to have all their qualms addressed, but we have the people on our side. Can we give a round of applause for all the people who showed up here? So I just want to keep this brief. I just want to say we've talked to hundreds of drivers. They're excited to know we're building a movement. We're building a working class people power movement, and they're very excited. We have a lot of drivers who are the other coalition that are seeing the light and they're realizing that they're having the world pulled into their eyes. So it's very exciting. We're going to have a very multicultural coalition of gig workers, and we're going to make sure that people get the respect that they deserve, or I'll be damned. So thanks so much, everyone. I'm going to give this, I'm going to pass over the microphone. We have an amazing candidate for Secretary of State, someone who's a civil rights warrior, a leader, and hopefully the next groundbreaking, historic Secretary of State for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Give her a round of applause, y'all.
Jonathan 他是汪洋的市议员，也是这个联盟的其中一个职员。那么是想大家知道，就是说，那么 Uber 公司他说你们可以有这个赞助，还有这个自由。其实它你上线的时候，它有很多不同的方法可以控制大家的，所以我们不要相信他们的骗话。那么还有下一个呢，我们介绍一个在市区的一个领导，就是说他在我们市区有人有事人种的逝去的争取权益的然后呢，他也是这次参选州务卿的那么 Tanisha Sullivan。
All right, I am Tanisha Sullivan, and we've been in this fight together for now a year. Back in early 2021, when we learned that there was going to be an effort here in Massachusetts similar to the effort in California to keep workers from receiving not only the wages we deserve, but the benefits we need to have access to, we knew we were going to have a fight on our hands. This is an issue of economic justice.
You mind doing me that favor?
Racial justice.
Yeah, I gotta
This
find
is
her.
an issue of fairness.
Probably at the bus station.
We know that civil rights and labor are two movements with one mission. That's freedom, justice, and equality for all people. Now, the fact of the matter is that in this fight, we may be outspent. The fact of the matter is that in this fight, institutions may not stand with us. But the very real fact, what history has shown, is that when we fight together, we win together. What history has shown is that justice will prevail. What history has shown us is that freedom will prevail, that equality will prevail. So don't believe what they may say. Freedom is our mission, and you can't be free because you're concerned about food on your table. You can't be free if you're concerned about access to quality hydration. You can't be free if you're concerned about safe working conditions. This is a freedom movement. This is a justice movement. This is a people movement.
This is about us. And no matter what comes, because it's going to be a tough fight. No matter what comes, we have to commit to continuing to fight together so that we win together.
Woo!
Thank you. I do want to absolutely thank so many of you for coming out today to show your support for this effort. It's going to be critically important that we also continue to show up at the same time. So that folks know that this is not just happening on the street, that this will happen and we will move to Beacon Hill. Because that's our house and those are our issues and this is our moment to advance public policies that work for us.
Woo!
现在就是说，我们现在争取的是经济的正义，还有种族的正义，还有平等，还有合理的我们的工人。那么对我们来说，争取人权跟工人权益呢，是有一个目的，大家都可以得到自由、正义还有平等。那么呢，他们有的是钱，我们有的是我们的人，还有我们的历史。历史证明到，就是说，历史证明到是说，如果我们大家一起团结争取权益的话呢，我们是可以胜利的。那我们以前有很多不同的例子，我们可以争取到正义还有平等的。那么对我们来说，这个争取呢，不容易的，会可能很困难，所以要所有的人一起来，团结一起，不同种族的人一起来团结争取权益。
I talked to Cedric. He says that he's in direct contact with you.
争取还有我们到
He's the guy at UMass Amherst who's doing the research.
哦
Okay. So I did explain the whole try to in terms of sharing lists, all anonymous, just